You know, I recently watched this speech by John Cleese. It's called Creativity in Management, or something like that. It's a really epic speech and he says some really poignant and profound things. But one thing really stood out. It's this idea of being in an open mode when you need to be creative. He talks about the open mode and the closed mode. And I was thinking about how this also applies to busking. And I'm going to use this video to talk about that a little bit. Also, how many buskers does it take to change a light bulb? I don't know.
I can state categorically that what I have to tell you tonight about how you can all become more creative is a complete waste of time. So I think it'd be much better if I just told jokes instead. How many folk singers does it take to change a light bulb? Answer 5, 1 to change the bulb, and 4 to sing about how much better the old one was.
I'd say it takes no buskers to change a light bulb because we're all too busy playing music. And we definitely won't be changing any light bulbs if the council are involved.
How many socialists does it take to change a light bulb? Answer, we're not going to change it, we think it works. Now here's the negative thing. Creativity is not a talent. It is not a talent. It is a way of operating.
I love the notion of the open mode. This sort of supple, receptive, kind of ready for anything type mode. But not in like a hard, tough as nails kind of way. Just in like a soft and present state of mind. I think this is the optimum place to be mentally for a good day of busking. Oh, good coffee. Woo!
And we become fascinated by the fact that we can usefully describe the way in which people function at work in terms of 2 modes, open and closed. By contrast, the open mode is a relaxed, expansive, less purposeful mode, in which we're probably more contemplative, more inclined to humor, which always accompanies a wider perspective, and consequently more playful. It's a mood in which curiosity for its own sake can operate, because we're not under pressure to get a specific thing done quickly. We can play.
Well, welcome then to Cosham. One of my favourite parts of that John Cleese speech is when he talks about Alfred Hitchcock, the filmmaker, refusing to work under pressure.
One of Alfred Hitchcock's regular co-writers has described working with him on screenplays. He says, "When we came up against a block and our discussions became very heated and intense, Hitchcock would suddenly stop and tell a story that had nothing to do with the work at hand. At first, I was almost outraged, and then I discovered that he did this intentionally. He mistrusted working under pressure. He would say, we're pressing, we're working too hard, relax, it will come."
I think us buskers, all right, do you mind? Need to cultivate that kind of energy too. This lifestyle doesn't fare well when you add in lots of pressure.
So how many American network TV executives does it take to screw in a light bulb? Answer, does it have to be a light bulb?
I guess the main difference between us and Alfred Hitchcock is he was working on $1 million budget films. So the financial pressure wasn't really there. Some of us buskers are just scraping through to pay our bills. And that can, you know, create pressure.
How many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? The answer, only 1, but the light bulb has really got to want to change.
My first time here in Cosham. Never been here before in my life. It's got this nice little pedestrian-only stretch. So, thought I'd better check it out. And being in a new place is actually part of today's video, so I thought it was fitting to bring you along. Where do I go? I think I go down the other end. Not heaps of real estate, but it seems busy enough. So how do we cultivate no expectations? An open mode energy. A subject I've given a lot of thought. So it's time to make a video about it. Caution. Out there is a spa. Always a bit wary about facing a spa because they like peace and quiet. But I'm maintaining my open mode. We'll see what happens. Doesn't matter. If I get asked to move, I'll move. It's fine. I think we can all agree that most of the pressure and the closed mind energy from busking is usually related to either nerves, confidence, or finance, money. But the joke is if we can steer away from thinking about those things, we usually feel more confident and have a better performance, and quite often we make more money. So the first point I think worth raising when it comes to cultivating no expectations is to provide the best possible service you can for the people without any expectation of getting anything back.
I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. On Thursday I don't care about Friday, I'm in love.
Busker is the people's musician. My friend Ash Cooper said that to me when I visited him in Wolverhampton. He said, you're the community's musician, and it stuck with me ever since. Like, you're there to provide a service. You're there to brighten up the atmosphere, to use music as a way to change the energy and the dynamic of wherever you're playing. So be the best you possibly can at that service. Make good music, project a good energy, smile at everybody. Make the surrounding area of where you're busking a nice place to be, without any expectation of anything in return.
Friday I'm in love, on Monday you can't fall apart, Tuesday, Wednesday you break my heart, on Thursday it doesn't even stop, Friday I'm in love.
A coffee shop isn't there so you buy coffee from them. They're there to provide you with coffee. A busker isn't there so people give them donations. A busker is there to provide the music. See what I'm saying? If you think about like your average demographic of a high street, especially like random little towns, it's usually like older people, people in mobility scooters, people with disabilities. And these are people that probably don't see a lot of live music. They probably don't go to gigs anymore, or they can't go to gigs anymore. But that doesn't mean to say that they don't like live music. You know, back in their prime, they probably really loved it. So you're providing them with that service. This is a service job, really. That's really what it is.
Friday never hesitate.
I think part of the reason I really like coming to sort of like unexpected places, places that aren't like the known spots, rather than like the big cities, is because you really get to see your music and your energy impact those particular people. If I ever get bonkers famous, I'm going to come to places like this in disguise and do little busks.
There is just one other thing that I can say about creativity. There are certain conditions which do make it more likely that you'll get into the open mode and that something creative will occur.
So my second recommendation of a way to cultivate this feeling of no expectation is what I call big picture busking. Big picture busking. The whole idea here is to change your focus from that day's busk to like the bigger picture. What are you busking for you for? Like, what's your reason for busking?
To analyze my dream. She she said it's like this that's bringing me down.
The idea here is to set a bigger goal for your busks. So maybe it's like you want to be a big musician artist one day, so you're promoting yourself, that's what you're doing. Maybe you're looking to get better at your instrument, so you're using your busk as a rehearsal. That's the bigger picture. Maybe your goal is to become a session musician and you're just trying to get yourself out there, get yourself exposure. Maybe you want to be a songwriter and you're using busking as a way of making your life music based and experiencing the world through music. And because you're in charge of your own time, you can go home and spend time writing songs. Or maybe you're building a YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're doing it solely for busking, that's what you want to do, then just see every busk as an opportunity to improve yourself as a busker. Do you see what I'm saying? Big picture busking. This place is actually pretty cool. Little nice community vibe. Yeah, seem to be enjoying what I'm doing, so that's good.
Your mind will pretty soon start racing again, but you're not going to take that very seriously. You just sit there for a bit, tolerating the racing and the slight anxiety that comes with that. And after a time, your mind will quieten down again.
Oh, oh. Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
Comparison is the thief of joy. If you want to cultivate the open mode, you can't be comparing to other people's journeys. So we're all bad at it because social media makes it really hard not to be comparative to others who are in your field. And I think this is true of busking. Whether it's like you're looking at other people's donations totals and thinking, I never make anything like that. Or you're looking at people's followings or their views. Yesterday, I had this really bad bout of like comparison moment where I was looking at like some of my sort of friends and fellow busker streams on Spotify. And I realized that they all have like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. And I'm there with my like 40. Oh, these bugs keep landing on me, man. What's going on? And then I realised, comparison's the thief of joy. What am I comparing these for? It doesn't get me anywhere. We're all on different journeys. We're all in different places on our journey. So no need to compare.
If I could have every bad dream, then I'm as to give you fright. If they came to me so you always slept easy, then baby I would eat through the night.
I'd sit there with the problem for another hour and a quarter, and by sticking at it, would, in the end, almost always come up with something more original. It was that simple.
Baby, I would always be with, and yes, I know that you do.
Okay, guidance number 5. Celebrate what is right in front of you. This is like my number one way to stay present, remain in the moment, and that's to celebrate what is happening around me in that moment.
That made your canvas look like a rainbow, then baby I would be black and white.
And this can be like really simple. It can be just like look at the sky and the sky is blue, there's no clouds. It's like, wow, what a magnificent day to be here. Or it could just be like being grateful that I can play guitar. Or thank you, thank you, appreciate it. Or it could be being grateful that I get to do this, that I was born into a life and a country and a time, you know, an era where this is a possibility. Because, you know, that might not have been possible at one point, and in some countries and in some societies it isn't. So it's really nice to like remind yourself of those things and be really grateful, like practice the gratitude. Puts you in the moment, you know. away from that sort of future projection of your expectations of where this is going or how the busk is going. And then I take this one step further, and that's even when you have really good days in terms of donation, don't celebrate the donations. Celebrate everything else. Teach your brain that busking isn't to do with donations, that the celebration is there regardless. A good busk is an enjoyable busk. A good busk is where you made people smile. And count those things at the end of the day, even if you've made hundreds of pounds.
But using words is too tough when I'm trying to find a way. It tells you, yeah. When I'm trying to find a way that tells you I love you enough.
If someone asks you, like when I get home, Laura asks me how's the busk, I'll always start with all the things that aren't to do with money. Because I'm teaching my brain that that's exactly what this is. The money's great sometimes, if it's gone well. But even if it hasn't gone well, I try and label all the things. Yesterday I played in Hastings, which was last week's video for you, and it didn't go so well in terms of donation. But when I got home, I told Laura how much fun I'd had making a video and playing to the sea all day, watching the sparkle of the sun on the sea. It's amazing.
No, 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 oh. No, no. Remember when we tried to catch a fish?
What would this look like if it were fun? That's a good question to ask yourself when you realise you're in the middle of a busk and your mind is thinking of all the possibilities, of all the reasons it's not going well. How can you make it more fun? In order to make it an open mode activity, it has to be fun, right?
What if the very essence of playfulness is an openness to anything that may happen? A feeling that whatever happens, it's okay.
We didn't have to play, still we waited on that fish. Another time we hated it, no. We was complaining we were wasting our time, always wasting our time.
Busking is supposed to be an open mode activity. It's supposed to be fun, but sometimes it isn't, because sometimes the busk isn't going so well. Sometimes you're going through a particularly turbulent time in your life and you bring that stress with you. Maybe the stress is directly to do with busking because you rely on busking to pay your bills and you haven't made enough to pay your bills that month. In those moments, ask yourself, what does this look like when it's fun?
Remember when we used to go to school? We'd sit in classrooms, hide from teachers in the halls.
So this could include playing some of your favourite songs. This could include wearing your favourite outfit. This could include, I don't know, moving around and dancing like you just don't care. It could be playing with your favourite effects. You could add in some loop pedal. Maybe you treat yourself to an effects pedal or a new case or some stickers. Maybe you vow to yourself that you'll treat yourself to a nice drink after you finish. Make it fun. Make it fun again. Because busking is at its best when you're enjoying yourself. The performer is enjoying themselves and people around them, they act on that energy. And those that don't, well, they've got their own issues to sort out.
Horrible feelings in September didn't go away until November. Remember what things we said we'd regret to release it out up again. I didn't realize until we left how much fun we had back then, yeah.
Okay, I think that's me done here in Cosham. Brad Place, man. Great little busk. Great little busking spot. Clearly other buskers come here because I've had a chat with a few locals saying that they do get other buskers here. And one of them even said that they've heard basket case here before, but my version was the best. So thank you for that, I appreciate it. I love people, man. People are so kind. They really are.
Friend, we moved up and now I've lost communication between jobs, between girls. But now I'm sat here in my room looking for something to do, remembering time well spent when when I was wasting it with time well spent, wasting it with friends.
I'll best be quick because I need to get a train in like the next 15 minutes, but I just wanted to show you the end of the high street and this fantastic like 1980s bingo hall. It looks so cool. It looks like something out of like a fairground or like a fun fair. Gives you an idea of the high street. It's not huge, but there is enough for one. Pretty cool. I've got one more point I want to talk about, and then that will be this video wrapped up. Let me get to the station because can't hit fine for the train.
So you cannot be playful if you're frightened that moving in some direction will be wrong, something you shouldn't have done. I mean, you're either free to play or you're not. As Alan Watts puts it, you can't be spontaneous within reason.
So the final thing I'm going to talk about, to help cultivate an open mode and get you out of that stagnation, that mindset of expecting better, not appreciating what it is you do and what it is you get and what it is you have, is to experience new things.
So you've got to risk saying things that are silly and illogical and wrong. And the best way to get the confidence to do that is to know that while you're being creative, nothing is wrong. There's no such thing as a mistake, and any drivel may lead to the breakthrough.
I think musicians by nature, we like repetition. We like 3 chords and the truth. We like 4 beats per bar. We like verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And as good as repetition is in life, you need to experience new things, man. Not just for creativity, but to make those busks better. The buses. Good job not getting a bus. Now this can look like many things. It can look like going to a new place for the first time. It could be playing a new song. It could be experimenting with your act. It could be adding new things in. As I said earlier, you could buy yourself a new pedal and experiment with the way things sound. You've got to keep it fresh, man. You don't want to stagnate. Everything is about momentum and movement. And I've got to get a train home. 3 fig day here in Quasham, £105.37. A good day indeed. I think I played for like 3 hours, 40 minutes. Got to go new places. For me, it's always been new places. New places is a fantastic feeling. And I've unlocked this place now. I can come here more regularly. Good times. Right, I've got to get on this train. I hope this video's helped you out. I'm going to hand you over to future me. I like to hand you over to future me to round off the videos in case I have important announcements that I've yet to think of in the present. So over to future me. Thanks for watching this one. See ya. I mean, nothing but the usual spiel from me. There are a few things I'd like to say as future me. First of all, I hope the concept of this video wasn't lost on you. As I was editing it together, I was like, I don't know if this makes sense. The whole idea is you stay in that open mode, that open zone. You don't expect anything from your busk, and usually that means you have the best busks, right? It's always those days you least expect it that go the best. So cultivate that feeling of no expectation, that open mode zone, and you're guaranteed some good days of busking. Another 2 things I'd like to say. First of all, 3,000 subscribers. Dang! The dude that 3 years ago hit record on this camera to start this YouTube journey could only have dreamed of being at this point. So to be here is like, oh, makes my heart swell. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey. I am so grateful, and it's all about staying present and not getting attached to the numbers, but 5 figures before the end of the year? I don't reckon that's impossible. The third announcement I'd like to make is Walk On By. I recently released a song. It would mean the world to me if you checked it out. Other than that, like the video if you did like it. I'm not attached to John Cleese particularly. Some dude just recommended I watch this speech and it had me inspired to make this particular video. If you're new around here, press subscribe. True fans, turn the notifications on. If you want to leave me an online donation, scan the QR code or hit the super thanks button. And if you have a spare cash lying around, then you can always think about subscribing to my Patreon. For a small price every month, you get some exclusive stuff. And I very much appreciate that kind of support. I'm August Radio Project. I make videos that come up every Monday. Whilst you wait for the next one, you can check out the many others on my channel or watch the one that comes up on the screen. And I'll see you next week. Peace, love, happiness.